Hello, everyone. A very good morning, people. Good morning, Smita. Good morning, Halima, Aman, Jitarth, Karthik, Plaksha, Vani, Vardhan. I'm sure it's a fresh morning for everyone. Okay. Did any of you got a chance to go through what we did yesterday? Good morning. Did you revise through the notes or did you revise through the book for that matter? Quickly revert to me, yes or no. And now we all need to be very proactive in the class, okay? 100% fully concentrated for this 2.5 hours. Very good, Smita, Jitat, Karthik, very good. Rest everyone did not get time. Okay, Plaksha. I can allow you today's time. I can give you a concession of one class where you did not have time to go through it. Today's class onwards, you have to compulsory revise everything before the next class. Okay, so please ensure that you're doing it on a daily basis. If you study regularly, you will not find problems in completing a syllabus, in understanding the concepts, solving the questions, and do it everything in a very organized manner for your exams. Okay, so the rest of ones who have not done it, make sure that now this class onwards, you're doing it without fail. Right? I hope I made myself clear. So Halima, Wani, Aman, and others, those who have not done, make sure you're doing it now. Okay. Now those have revised. A quick question. Any doubts, any queries, anything that you did not understand? Okay, anything that is not very clear to you, put it in the chat box right away and I'll clarify it. Okay, so I do hope that everything is clear. With no comments, I assume it is. Okay, so yesterday what we covered was first chapter that was essentially a background, a more of a theoretical chapter. Today we are going to be starting with the practical angles of taxes. So we are going to be discussing a lot of practical angles, the format or the performer of your tax computations, going into the slab rates and doing the calculations. So today's class, and of course, is one of the very crucial base classes. So I want 200% of your attention on my screen only. Okay? So just give me a second. I'll share the screen. I do hope that my screen is completely visible to everybody. Videos are also very clear and audios are also perfectly audible. Any issues anybody's facing, do not hesitate, put that in the chat box. We completed chapter 1. Now there is a reading strategy that I want to give you all. Compulsory to be followed in the same way. So all those who have completed and also have not completed the first chapter, you will read through the first chapter from here in the chapters portion. Assume everybody is having the ebook. In case if you don't have it, you have the physical book. You're going to be navigating in the same way. So you will read through the first chapter parallelly. You will go through your essentials reading portions. Just a minute. Okay, you will go through your essential reading portion and you will complete your first chapter from there as well. Essential reading is something in addition to what you are reading in your chapter 1. I take up those portions in the class, but when you're reading it on your own, you should parallelly complete both the chapters. Okay. First from the main chapter list, and then your essential reading, the same chapter. Okay. That is just an additional some reading portions that is going to be useful for you for your exam purposes also. Then the next thing that you're going to do, which is only available in the ebook portions only. Let me check. No, it is there in your main book also, physical book also. So what you will do, you will go through a further questions practice and you will start practicing your further questions practice question bank right away. Generally, because I give homework from the PNR kit, your practice and revision kit. So for the question bank, it is something that is to be done at your end. Randomly, I will pick many times questions from here, but generally I follow PNR kit for the exam portions. You, when you're doing your questions and your portions on your own, after the class is over, you will go through your further question bank and parallelly do all the questions relevant to the topic here as well. You have any queries, you can ask me in the class. No issues for that. Okay. So I hope the strategy is absolutely clear. Parallelly, when you're doing chapter 1, you have to do essential reading chapter 1, further questions bank, the relevant questions, and also you have to cover ACC Study Hub relevant questions. Sorry, just went off. Okay. Right. So parallelly, ACC Study Hub also you have to start. I would be taking some random questions also. Okay, one more thing that I wanted to discuss and wanted to inform you all that I think I skipped telling you yesterday. Sometimes you will have surprise test also. Okay, so I won't be declaring them in advance. Definitely that you are going to cover these chapters and all, whatever portions we are covering. 1 or 2 days, maybe just, starting from the coming week onwards only, you will have some surprise, some questions. It is not a typical test, but some questions will be given to you that you have to solve in the class. Fine. So that is why I say, please be in line with the class. Okay, now let's start with chapter 2. I've shared the notes with everyone and everybody is having the screen. Okay. So right now, don't need to open it. Just look at my screen, but this is already there with you. So this is something, this sheet is something that we're going to cover today. We are now going to start with income tax computations. That is, if you have been given a set of income, how you're going to compute taxes on the same. Because how to calculate that income, we will then do in the forthcoming classes. Okay, so please look at the performer. Now, everyone, those who know Indian taxes, please keep that knowledge aside and keep your brains afresh where I can, feed in this data. Right? Please do not compare because both the tax systems are completely different. Okay, so please just focus right now only on UK taxes. So I have taken an example where I'm creating a tax computation for Richard for the tax year 24-25. Okay, now please just look at. Now in under the UK taxes, we divide the income for the tax calculation purposes under 3 broad categories: non-savings income, savings income, and dividend income. Starting from reverse, dividend income, as the name suggests, is the dividend received from the shares that the shareholder owns from the different companies. So dividend income would be directly given to you in the exam, and that you just have to put in here under this column, dividend income. Savings income, as the name suggests, so it is the income that is being generated from the money that you save, precisely the money that is there in your banks. So it is your bank account savings. So precisely it is generally your bank account interest. Along with that, if there is any interest income earned from anywhere, any interest income would be shown under savings income. Okay, any interest income. There is one more portion that is covered here, which is known as building society interest. Now, what are building societies? I'll explain you. Just a moment. I need to take the notes. So, what are building societies? A building society is a financial institution which is owned by its members as a mutual organization. Building society offers banking and related financial services, especially savings and mortgage lending. Similar to credit unions, they generally provide home mortgages, and borrowers and depositors are members of the building society. So, what is it precisely? That few people have come together, okay, and it is not just the people, sometimes the groups, financial institutions. So, generally, the people come together and they create their own institution that we know as building society. The purpose is that among that group only, there are borrowers and lenders. Okay, so the people who lend money, they earn interest, and the people who borrow money, they pay interest. But all are part of the closed group only. This is known as building society. Now, this number can go up to like 10,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh. Like, for example, the nationwide building society is the largest building society of the world, and that has got the members going in millions. Okay, so but the purpose is that the borrowers, lenders, they are part of the group only, and they're generally for home loan purposes that these groups are created. Okay, but whatever it is, any interest income that you earn here would be clubbed under savings income. This definition is not going to be asked in your syllabus. I have given the definition so that you're clear with what is this terminology. Okay, so now we know that dividend income has got dividend that we earn from the shares. Savings income is interest income, whether it's a building society interest, a bank account interest, or any interest. Leaving these two, whatever income is remaining would be clubbed at the NSI, that is non-savings income. You will be showing them under non-savings income category. One exception is your chargeable gain tax, because chargeable gains, or we call it in simple language capital gains, and inheritance tax, they are treated differently because they have a different tax rate. They don't follow this slab rate system. So here what we're going to include is employment income, your trading income, your property business income. All these incomes are included in NSI. Any income relating to the sale of capital assets or any income under the inheritance would be taxed separately under their respective taxes. Here, what we are going to calculate is income tax. Okay. So let's look at the broad summary again. Now, for example, I have listed down few income. Income from employment, building society interest, and dividend income. Income from employment will be shown under non-savings income. Building society interest would be shown under savings income, and dividends income would be shown under dividends income. Clear? I will add these three, and the heading that we give it is total income. Now, these terminologies are very crucial because you would be referring to various places: net income, taxable income, total income. So you should know after which step which totals is coming. So the first total is total income. Okay, you get the total of everything, and then you have a total column, which is precisely total of all the three incomes. Okay, and this is a fixed columns. I mean, you cannot have more columns than this. You can have less. If a person does not have dividend income, you don't need to prepare this column. But if a person can never have any income which is outside these three columns. Okay, so all incomes are clubbed here in these three columns only. They're grouped here only. Non-savings income, savings income, and dividend income. Till this point, any questions, any queries? Till the calculation of total income. And don't worry, we'll be doing a lot of questions today. No queries? Okay. One small request. I hope that nobody is carrying, nobody is going to use their mobile calculators. Can you all please have these calculators with you? And I hope that everybody is having these calculators for the class. No mobile calculators, please. Good. Okay, now let's proceed further. So now we are at total income. Now let's go to the next step. We have from total income, now we have been given some allowable reductions like qualifying interest relief and loss relief. Loss relief is going to be taken care after some more chapters. So I will keep it right now on hold. I come to the next one, which is qualifying interest relief. What is qualifying interest relief? Relief means it's a benefit. It is going to reduce your income. Okay. So the question comes, ma'am, what is qualifying interest? Qualifying interest is the interest that you are paying on a loan for which is taken for qualifying purposes. I repeat again. So the interest that a taxpayer pays on the loan that he has taken for qualifying purposes would be classified as qualifying interest relief. So now comes the next question. Ma'am, what is a qualifying loan? Let's look at that. So please look at these qualifying purposes. Now, do you need to remember them? Yes, you need to. But do you need to learn them? No. If you understand them, there is no need to learn them. Okay? Now, I have categorized these qualifying purposes into two main categories. One, as a partner, and the other one, if the taxpayer is an employee. If the taxpayer is an employee, then the loans for qualifying purposes can be, number one, the loan which is taken to purchase plant and machinery for use in employment. For example, you have taken a loan to buy a computer, to buy a laptop, and because you need to use laptop for your employment purposes. So that loan that you have taken to buy laptop and you're paying interest on that loan would be categorized as qualifying interest relief, and you can reduce your total income by that. Okay. So first purpose is loan taken to buy plant and machinery for use in employment. Same point for a partner of the partnership firm. When he has taken a loan to buy plant and machinery to use in his partnership firm. Only for official purposes, these loans are allowed. Second, if an employee has taken a loan, for what purpose? To buy shares. In which company? In employee controlled trading company. Now, what do I mean by employee control? Employee control means a company which is resident company of UK. That means it is registered in UK. And the company is having unquoted trading, is an unquoted trading company. Unquoted means it's not a listed company on the stock exchange. So, okay, it's an unlisted company, but it is a trading company, not a manufacturing or for service company. It's a trading company. Okay, so it's an unquoted trading company. It's a UK resident company with at least 50% of the voting shares, which are held by full-time employee or employees. You know, when do you have control? I assume that you know in your accounting, control gets created between two companies, a parent and a subsidiary, when a parent owns at least 50% of the share capital of the subsidiary. Same purpose is defined here. A company would be called as an employee-controlled company if at least 50% of the shares are held by the full-time employee, not part-time. Now, it is not necessary that only one employee is holding 50%. Okay, though this much is they're not there in your syllabus, but I'm just making you understand. Even if a group of employees, they hold together, more than 50%. So then we say that it is an employee controlled company. Okay, and in that, now if he wants to take loan to buy more shares, he's allowed to do that. And that purpose would be a qualifying purpose. So far, what do we know? Purchase of plant and machinery for use in employment and for use in partnership. Then employee has taken a loan to purchase shares in an employee controlled company, which is an unquoted trading company and a UK resident company. And full-time employees are holding at least 50% of the share capital of that company. So that is known as employee controlled company. Next, partner, when he comes in, he needs to bring in capital. So that is also qualifying purpose. Okay, so now the partner has taken a loan to contribute capital to the partnership firm. That is a qualifying purpose. So any interest paid would be a qualifying interest. Please remember, we are not giving benefit for principal amount. We are only giving the relief for interest amount. Okay. Next, any loan which is taken to invest in cooperatives or any loan which is taken to pay inheritance tax liabilities are all qualifying purposes. Just for more understanding, for point number 1, 2, 3, so till this point, interest paid gross can be claimed in 3 years from the end of the tax year in which the loan was taken. Now, this is a point for only ATX point of view, but I just inserted it here for your understanding. It means if I've taken a loan in the tax year 24-25, I can claim the interest amount for 2025-26, 2026-27, and 2027-28 only. Only for 3 years, you can claim the interest amount as a relief in your books. Other than these 3 years, no interest amount will be claimed as a relief. Okay? And for this point, that is loan to pay interest, inheritance tax liability, it can only be claimed for 12 months from the date that the loan was taken. Only for the period of 12 months, you can claim this benefit. Okay? So this is not that important. This is just my understanding. And please understand one more thing. No, sometimes we have a question. Ma'am, I took a loan to buy laptop for my official use, but then I use it for personal purposes also. Now what to do? Proportionate. Proportionate the tentative percentage that is a personal use. Just take the percentage which is for business use. And for that portion only, you can claim the interest rate. So if plant and machinery is used partly for private use and for official use, then allowance interest is only given for business use. So you will do it proportionate. Okay, let me summarize it again. So people, what is the qualifying interest or what is qualifying interest relief? It is a relief given for the interest payment on the loans taken for qualifying purposes. Now, which are qualifying purposes? Number 1, let's see how much do you remember. Can you put that in the chat box? One by one, let's have the pointers. Mark it to everyone. Give me the first point quickly in the chat box. No, car is not a plant and machinery. Okay, it is not covered in the definition of plant and machinery. Your vans, motor cars, all these can cover. Sorry, vans, tempos, trucks can cover, but car is not plant and machinery for tax purposes. Anyone who remembers the first point, quickly. Let me see how much did you hear me properly? Can you share the first qualifying purpose? Very good. Buying the plant and loan taken to buy plant and machinery for business use by employee as well as by the partner. Very good. For use in his employment or business purposes. Just a moment. Put in the second point. Quickly. Okay, very good. Jitarth, very good. Fantastic. Loan taken to purchase shares in employee-controlled company. Employee-controlled company is a company which is unlisted, or we say it unquoted. Actually, the term that we use is unquoted trading company, which is a UK resident company. And the shares owned are at least 50% by full-time employees. Very good. Last point. No, there is one more for partnership. Do you remember one more point for partnership? Anyone? Savani, Aman, Jitarth, fantastic. Prabjot, very good. Halima, Vardhan, Aman, you guys are attentive. Very good. Next one. Very good, Aman. Thank you. Loan taken by the partner to invest in the partnership. That is capital contribution. But the technical language is loan taken by partner to invest in the partnership. Okay. Now, very good. The next one, loan taken to fund investment in the partnership. We do capital contribution. Okay, next one. The last 2 points, loan taken to invest in cooperatives. And the last one, loan taken to pay inheritance tax liabilities. Very good, Prabjot. Fantastic. So I hope, do you need to learn it now? No, we are absolutely clear with it. Okay, let's go to the next portion. Loss relief I'm not covering because there's a full-fledged chapter in which I will be covering these topics. Then that time I'll come back to this portion. Right now, question will mention to you loss amount. You just have to give the relief. That's all. Okay. Now, so summarizing here, we have discussed the 3 heads of the tax categorization: non-savings income category, savings income, and dividend income. Now, the 3 incomes that we have mentioned: income from employment, okay. Okay, so we have, like, here I have taken 3 examples: income from employment, building society interest, dividends, and we got the total income. Then we reduced qualifying interest relief and we reduced the loss relief. And we are now getting the term net income. This is a very, very important term because many places I would be referring to the formulas or I will be referring to the calculations where I would be needing net income. So you have net income here of non-savings income 52,000, savings income 1,400, dividend income 6,000. It's a very random example that I've taken. Get the total here. Now, what is the total here? 59,400. This total is important for us that I will explain sometime. From net income, there is an allowance that you can reduce. Allowance means it is going to reduce your income. What is that allowance? Personal allowance. What is the amount? For every year, this personal allowance is fixed and it is going to be given to you in the tax rates and allowances chart that I shared with you yesterday, that I said that you would be getting it in your exam. So for your tax year 24-25, your or 23-24, it was the same. The personal allowance that is allowed to you is 12,570. How this is calculated, you have to contact UK authorities for the same. What we get to know from your Finance Act is that personal allowance is 12,570 for the tax year. I'll reduce it from here and then I get taxable income. On this taxable income, we pay taxes. Okay, but before that, let me talk about few other things. First, Whenever you are adjusting qualifying interest relief or the loss relief or personal allowance, you will do it always in the sequence non-savings income first, then use it against the savings income, then use it against the dividend income. So always the same sequence is to be followed. First non-savings income, then savings income, then dividend income. You cannot break this chain. Okay? Second point, personal allowance, is it 12,570 for all the taxpayers? So comes a point, which are the three categories of the taxpayers? Please look at the slab. I'll make you understand that. And don't worry, I'll summarize everything again because I know when you're hearing it for the first time, it looks quite scattered. Don't worry, I'll summarize it. So please look at the category of the taxpayers for the different tax slabs. Now here we have only 3 tax slabs. We don't have any basic exemption limit, nothing. Just like in India we have, there is nothing like this. So in UK, it's a very simple, and I think it's a very simplified form of taxes that we have. We have here 3 slab rates. First slab rate is for the taxable income, total taxable income, okay? For the total taxable income, which is going from 0 to 37,700. For this category, we call this category as a basic rate band. In short, we call it as BRB. Okay, basic rate band for the taxable income falling in 0 to 37,700. The taxpayer who is falling in this category, we call him as basic rate taxpayer. The tax rate applicable is 20%. So even if his income is 100 pounds, he has to pay 100 into 20%, 20 as the tax. Okay, there is no exemption as a minimum limit. Fine. The next category is from 37,701 to 1,25,140. Now the taxpayers whose income is falling in this category, we call him as higher rate taxpayer because this band is known as higher rate band. Tax rate applicable is 40% for the income earned between 37,701 to 125,140. For all the taxable income over and above 125,140, take that excess, multiply it with 45%. And we call this taxpayer as additional rate taxpayer because this band is additional rate band. I'll repeat it again. That's okay. Riddhi, it won't hurt because you don't have to learn them, dear. It would be given to you in the exam. And UK is like that. The dates are not rounded off. You have tax year from 6th April to 5th April. They like to make it clumsy. Or maybe we have a better version then. Okay. Now focus here again. So come on, guys. Tax slabs. 3. 0 to 37,700. Basic rate band. Tax rate is 20%. And the taxpayer is basic rate taxpayer. For the income 37,701 to 1,25,140, rate band is higher rate band, taxpayer is higher rate taxpayer, tax rate is 40%. For the taxable income levels 1,25,140 above, you have additional rate band, 45% is the tax rate, and the taxpayer is additional rate taxpayer. Now let's establish what is the category of this taxpayer. Let's see. Richard. So Richard's total taxable income is 46,830. His income levels is beyond 37,700. That means he's not a basic rate taxpayer. But it is below 1,25,140. That means he's not additional rate taxpayer also. So we declare that he is a higher rate taxpayer. Are you all clear till this point? Only till this point. The rate bands and the category. Yeah, I would be needing a lot of rewards today because it is a technical calculations class. So everyone, those who have doubts, quickly put it in the chat box. Okay. Okay. And because I'm going to explain you all the concepts at one place, and then continuously we are going to do questions. Now establish that he's a high rate taxpayer. Okay. But the story doesn't end here. We need to know now another portion about PA. So I'm coming back to PA now. When I come back to PA, he got full PA, 12,570. But not all the taxpayers are so lucky to get full PA. Why? Because there is a tapering clause. Tapering is a technical term that we use for reduction. Okay, so there is a clause where some taxpayer will have reduced PA, or even they can have zero PA. Yes, it can be reduced to zero as well. So what is the categorization? Let's understand it. So I explain you the next concept, which is tapering of personal allowance. This says that if your adjusted net income is beyond 1 lakh pounds, okay? So if your adjusted net income is beyond 1 lakh pounds, then your PA will be tapered. What is adjusted net income? Question, ma'am, I don't know. So I'll explain you. Adjusted net income formula is net income less gross personal pension contributions and gross gift aid donations. What are these terms? No, nothing difficult explaining. First, I'll explain gross gift aid donations. So please just have an understanding here. Gift aid donation means you donate to charities, you donate to NGOs, right? Why do we donate? As a gift to them, right? We don't ask for return. That, look, I'm donating 10,000 to you, now you give something in return. No. The purpose is to aid them, is to support them. So we gift them, right? So any donations that you're made to these charities, you can get that amount would be reduced from the net income. Okay. So whatever your net income is, you will reduce the amount from there. So comes the point, ma'am, why gross is written? Because I'll explain you in UK what happens. In UK, what happens is, suppose there is a charity. Okay. And Mr. A wants to pay to the charity. And there is HMRC here. Mr. A wants to pay 100 to the charity. Okay, he wants to contribute 100 to charity. He will not pay directly 100 to charity. Instead, Mr. A will pay 80 to charity and 20 he will be paying to HMRC. Why? On the fulfillment of the conditions for the charity purposes and all, then HMRC will credit this 20 to charity. So this credit would be done by HMRC to the charity. From your pocket, 100 is only going from your pocket. But how much you are paying directly to charity? 80. You are paying 20 through HMRC. So if I say, boss, whatever gifted donations you have made to charity, you have to reduce that. So then what charity will say? That, boss, you paid me only 80, so you will reduce 80. But Mr. A will say, no, 100 went out of my pocket, so how can I reduce 80? So therefore, the term gross is there. That you will not reduce the amount that you are paid to the charity. You will reduce the amount which is the gross amount for you, which in this case is 100 here. Okay, so then Mr. A will reduce from his net income 100 as the gross gift aid donation. Clear? Clear with this? Any doubts? Please ask me. Now, one doubt can be there. Ma'am, is this amount fixed? 20? Yes, this proportion is fixed. So if suppose question gives you that the amount actually paid is 80 and you have to calculate the gross amount, you would always do into 100 by 80. Okay, you will always do this only. So then you will get the gross amount. Okay, because it is by default, 20% is going to HMRC and 80% goes to charity by default. If the question is silent, then we assume that the amount is gross given to you in the question. Okay. Till this point clear? The same concept is for gross personal pension contribution. Now, what is personal pension contribution? Suppose I'm a self-employed person, or even you are an employed person. So in UK, we have different pension schemes. Pension is something to, save yourself or basically protect yourself when you grow old. Okay, when you're retired. So you want to have some money for your living purposes, right? So for that purpose, we have the pension amounts. Now we can make pension contributions. There's a dedicated chapter for it, but I'm just giving you a brief up. Generally, two ways a person contributes. If you're an employee, your employer will deduct pension amount from the salary, which is known as occupational pension contributions. Other than that, even if you are an employee or like me, you are a self-employed person, then you can directly contribute to that fund yourself also. Okay. So how will you directly contribute? By contributing to the personal pension schemes that are, that are there launched by different insurance companies, banks. So you can enroll for the schemes and you can do the contribution so that when you retire or after a certain age of 60 years, then you will start getting the pension amount. So you don't have to rely on the employer only. You can have your own pension schemes as well. So here the reduction is only when you're contributing to personal pension schemes. Okay. When you're contributing to occupational pension schemes, it is not covered here. Okay. Because the terminology is you will reduce from net income gross personal pension contributions. And gross concept is same. So in UK, even when you're contributing to the pension schemes, so let aside it being charity, now I say it is a pension scheme. HMRC does the same way. Mr. A will pay only 80 to the pension scheme, 20 will go to HMRC, and then 20 will be credited by HMRC to that company for that scheme. Fine. And for you, the gross amount is always 80 multiplied by 100 by 80. Same 80% is the net amount, 20% is the amount contributed to HMRC. So gross amount is 100 by 80. Okay. And that gross personal pension contribution amount you will reduce from net income to get adjusted net income. Okay. I'll take some examples also to make you understand this. And please don't think that, ma'am, it is too much portions are there, too much pointers are there. It is just looking like because you've not done a question so far. Once we cover the concepts, I'll summarize each and everything again. And then we go on to questions. Things will be absolutely crystal clear to you. Okay. Okay, let me explain this again. So now we are understanding the concept of tapering of PA. That is reduction of PA. First step, calculate ANI. Okay, this is the first step. Second step, calculate ANI is the first step. What is ANI? It is equal to your net income, the total of net income, less gross personal pension contributions and gross gifted donations. This is only applicable, okay? Tapering is only applicable if your ANI is more than 1 lakh. So now first step is step 1. Calculate ANI. Step 2. Get excess of ANI over 1 lakh. Suppose our ANI is 1 lakh 10,000, then the excess is 10,000. Okay. Step 3. Take 50% of the excess. So like in our example, suppose ANI is in my question 1 lakh 10,000. Excess is 10,000. 50% of the excess is 5,000. Clear? Then step 4, calculate tapered PA. What is a normal PA? 12,570. From this, you will reduce this amount, 50% of the excess. You reduce it. So how much you get? 7,570. Now this is the PA amount that you will reduce from your net income. So right in the performer here, you have PA. So from instead of 12,570, I will reduce 7,570. Okay, I hope it is absolutely clear. The steps. I can just write down here. Okay. Okay, let's take one more example. Now, suppose if I say that my ANI is 125,140. What is the excess over 1 lakh? 25,140. In the exam, you have to show calculations like this in your Excel. Third step, take 50% of the excess. 50% would be this multiplied by 50%, which is 125,140. What is your tapered PA? Your tapered PA is, what is the allowed PA? 125,12570. From that, you're reducing 12570. So what is allowed PA? 0. You will not get any PA. Okay. Another example. Suppose your PA is 1,50,000. Your ANI is 1,50,000. Please look here. Okay. What is your excess over 1,50,000? 50% of the excess is 25,000. Boss, but your PA is only 12,570 and it is coming 25,000. You can never have negative answers. You can never ask from HMRC, pay me that amount. HMRC will never pay you. It is not that kind. So HMRC will say, there is no negative figure allowed. You reduce it to 0. Reduce it to 0. Will not allow anything in negative. Got it? Everyone, are you clear? Let's have a quick question. Quickly answer me. What is the tapered amount of PA? Okay. I'm giving you one question. What if your ANI is, I'm giving you two questions actually. If your ANI is 1,05,000. Okay, look here. I'll ask individually the questions. There are too many questions that are going to be there. First situation is ANI is 1,05,000. Second situation, ANI is 90,000. Okay. Third situation, your ANI is 1,45,000. Okay, and you have to tell me what is the tapered PA. Okay, all of you can answer. First question, type it in the chat box. And this, I want everybody to answer, okay? So quickly calculate and tell me, what is the tapered PA? Remember step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. We'll discuss it once everybody answers. Don't give me all the answers, Plaksha. I just asked for the first one. And next time onwards, please mark it to me directly. Don't mark it to everyone. Okay? Mark it to me directly, all of you. Come on, everybody, I want your rewards. Only received from Aman, Halima, Karthik, Plaksha, Smita, Vardhan. Mark it to me directly, your answers. First portion only I want answer, only for the first one. Prabjot, Jatharth received. What about you? Karthik, where is your answer? Swayam, Riddhi. Quick. You've given Karthik. Just a minute. If I missed out, let me just see. Yeah, sorry, you have given. Swayam, Riddhi. Come on, I want you to answer quickly. I'm just giving you 5 seconds more, Riddhi. Speed up. Or just revert if you're not able to calculate. Riddhi, are you there in the class? Just revert yes or no. The correct answer is 10,070. Okay, why? It is wrong, Vardhan, your answer. Let's see why. Okay, so the correct answer is 10,070. First step, take ANI. ANI is 1,05,000. Okay, second step, do what is the excess over 1 lakh? 5,000. Okay, what is the 50% of excess? 2,500. Now you will take 12,570 and from this you will reduce 2,500. Okay, so you get 10070. Are you clear, Vardhan? Are you clear now? Just revert, Vardhan. Vardhan, I'm waiting for your revert. Okay, are you now clear? Absolutely. That's great. That's okay. Riddhi, are you clear? Just revert yes or no. Okay, people, the next one. Mark it to me directly. Quickly, the next one. And Riddhi, now I want you to be quick. Very good. Just type in the PA amount. I don't want any theory to be written. Type in the PA amount. What is the final PA amount? What is the final PA amount for the second one? Absolutely correct, Smita. Absolutely correct. Karthik, very good. Very good, Halima, correct. Vardhan, correct. Jitarth, wrong. Prabjot, correct. Think again, Jitarth. Plaksha, I want answer. I don't want statements. I want the value of PA. What is the final PA? Everybody else, come on, give me the rewards. Riddhi, answer. Smita, answer. Aman, answer. Very good, Plaksha, Jitarth. Correct. Now. Yeah, Smita received answer. Yes. Aman, you gave me. I'm sorry. Many times I miss out. When did you give me? The second part answer, when did you give me, Aman? I don't have it. Type it again. No, Riddhi, wrong. Perfect, 12,570. Riti, your statement was correct that it is less than 1 lakh. If it is less than 1 lakh, then there is no tapering. So no tapering means it is not that you will get 1 lakh as PA, okay? You will get full 12,570 as PA. No tapering is there. Wonderful. Okay? Yes, perfect. Third one, quick, give me the answer. What is the tapered PA? Quickly. What is the tapered PA? Give me the tapered PA quickly. Very good. Fantastic. Halima correct. Smita, Prabjot, Karthik, Aman, Plaksha, Jitarth, Vardhan, everyone correct. Very good. Riddhi, answer. Swayam, answer. Okay. There is an error, Riddhi, but don't worry. I'll correct you. Don't worry for that. Swayam, answer. Anybody who's not answered? Okay. So Swayam and Riddhi, let's correct. Let's be corrected. Let's do the calculations. ANI is 1,45,000. What is the excess over 1,45,000? What is 50% of the excess? Let me calculate it. 22,500. What is my allowed PA? 12,570. Now, what you have done, Swayam, is you have done this, right? And Riddhi, you have also done this. You are not allowed to do this. What does it mean? It means that HMRC allowed you 12,570, but you want more because it is 22,500. You cannot ask that, okay, please, I want to add it to my income or I want to reduce it my income. Maximum that you can reduce is 12,570 only. That means your this amount, excess amount, cannot go beyond 12,570. So if your answer is coming in negative, you'll mark it as 0. That means you're not allowed any PA. Okay? You're not allowed any PA. Yes. So your answer is 0. So here it would be 0. Fine. Is this absolutely crystal clear now, this concept? Anybody who's having any queries, put that in the chat box quickly. Okay. Very good. So I'm just recapping whatever we have done till this portion. Then I'll come to tax calculations. No need to thank. Okay, Riddhi, it's my duty and I will do it. I'll make sure that there is nobody who's leaving the session, at the end of the session has got even one doubt in the mind. I don't want it. Okay. Okay, people, now let's summarize what we have done. The 3 categories for taxpayer, the 3 categories for your income classification, non-savings income, savings income, dividend income, and a total column. Then I took 3 examples, it can be multiple. And then accordingly, we calculated total income. From that, we reduced 2 things, qualifying interest relief and your loss relief. And we got net income. We got the total of net income because we wanted for PA calculations. Okay. Now from net income, I reduced PA. Now whether PA is to be tapered or not, we have to calculate ANI for the same. And this calculation is only to be done if your ANI is beyond 1 lakh. Okay, and this calculation is only to be done if your ANI is going beyond 1 lakh. If your ANI is not going beyond 1 lakh, you don't need to do the calculation. Okay, you don't need to do tapering of PA. Now, how do we calculate ANI? It is total of net income. This total you will take. From this, you will reduce 2 things. Gross gifted donations, gross personal pension contributions. Okay, and then you do tapering of PA. Once you've done PA calculation, then you will calculate taxable income. Now I will tell you how to do the tax calculations. Okay, the final concepts for today, because then we will do questions. And if there is a time, I'll give you more concepts. Okay, now first, you will take total of the taxable income because you need to establish the category of the taxpayer. Here, the total is 46,830. So the category of the taxpayer is higher rate taxpayer. Okay. Now let's do the tax calculations. Please look here. How do we do tax calculations? You know the slab rate? Slab rate was 0 to 37,700. 20% is the tax. That is known as basic rate band. 37,700 to 125, 140. 40% is the tax. We call it as higher rate band. More than 125, 140, additional rate band, 45% is the tax rate. Yes, yes, yes. And Aman, just be on hold. I'm doing the tax calculations so that you'll have understanding. Okay, just give me 5 minutes. Yes, and like Aman has asked me a point that, ma'am, if the income is exact 37,700 or exact 125, 140, we will keep it in the prior band. That means 37,700 is basic rate band. 125, 140 is higher rate band. Only when the income goes beyond this, you enter a new rate band. Got it? Okay. So now let's tax it. You will always tax it category-wise. Non-savings income, savings income, and dividend income. Okay? Now, the slab rates are going to be given to you in the exam. Your tapering of PA calculation method, no? That ANI is equal to this. How do you do the tapering of PA? That steps are also going to be given to you in the exam. Don't worry for that. Okay? Now, first, I will take the heading non-savings income. How much is non-savings income? 39,430. Is it going beyond 37,700? Yes. So here we have two rate bands, basic and higher both. Because 37,700 limit is getting crossed. So I will give the heading non-savings income. And for 37,700, I will give tax at 20%. Because a taxable income of 37,700 is already covered for the rate band, basic rate band of 20%. Here you have portion of income going beyond 37,700. How much is going beyond? Take the difference, 1730. So for this 1730, now we will tax 40%. Please make sure your total should always match with this taxable income. So NSI total is 39,430. It should always match. Got it? So now for 1730, I will tax it at 40%, which is 692. Clear with this? Second, now you're done with NSI. Now you go to savings income. Now there are few benefits in savings income. Let's look at it. Okay. So I will now explain you savings income nil rate bands. We don't call them exemption limits. We call them nil rate bands. Nil rate bands means that portion of income that will be taxed at 0%. That means no tax, but we will show that in the calculation at 0%. So if whatever income that you have in savings income, it is eligible for two rate bands, two nil rate bands. First nil rate band is starting nil rate band, and the second is a nil rate band based on the category of the taxpayer. Only for savings income. So if you don't have savings income, you will not get these nil rate bands. One question can be, ma'am, in NSI, there is no nil rate band? No, there is no nil rate band for non-savings income. You have nil rate bands only for savings income and dividend income. That's all. Okay, please focus here on my screen. First is the starting nil rate band of 5,000. Now, what is the starting nil rate band? It basically says that please see what is the level of your NSI. Because first NSI is then and then only SI you write, right? So please see the level of NSI. Suppose I'm taking an example where my non-savings income is only 2,000. Is it less than 5,000? Yes. How much less? 3,000. So now that 3,000 you can tax at 0% for your savings income. So your total savings income is 7,000. 3,000 is your starting nil rate band that would be taxed at 0%. You will not pay taxes on it. Only on the remaining 4,000 you will pay taxes. Okay, let's take another example. Suppose your non-savings income is 0. The taxpayer does not have any non-savings income. So you will get full 5,000. So if your savings income is 8,000, 5,000 is straight away 0%. Only on remaining 3,000 you're going to pay taxes. Third example. Suppose your non-savings income is 8,000. Now it is going beyond 5,000. Now you will not get any starting nil rate band. So your starting nil rate band would be 0 here because your non-savings income is already more than 5,000. So depending upon the level of non-savings income, you will get starting nil rate band. If the question says there is no non-savings income, you will get full 5,000 starting nil rate band. Okay, let's take in our example in our question. How much is a non-savings income? 39,430. It is beyond 5,000. We will not get, enricher will not get any starting nil rate band. Okay, question will never ask you calculate starting nil rate band. You have to apply your own brains. Okay? Don't worry, I'll give you an example to test it. But are you clear till this point? So first nil rate band that we have discussed for savings income category is starting nil rate band of 5,000. Maximum it is 5,000 only. Depending upon the level of non-savings income, we will get this 5,000 starting nil rate band. So for non-savings income, which is less than 5,000, we will get starting nil rate band. For the non-savings income going 5,000 or more, we will not get any starting nil rate band. Okay? Let's go to the second nil rate band that is available only for savings income based on the category of the taxpayer. So if the taxpayer category is say basic rate, okay, that means his total taxable income is up to 37,700 only. If he's a basic rate category taxpayer, he will get additional 1,000 to be taxed at 0%. So apart from starting nil rate band, he will get additional 1,000 to be taxed at 0%. If the taxpayer is a higher rate category taxpayer, then he will get 500 as to be taxed at 0%. 500. If the category of the taxpayer is additional rate category, he is very rich. So he will not get any nil rate band under savings income. No nil rate band. Okay, let's take this in an example here. So I have taken an example here where the person only has this much income. He has 2,000 non-savings income. Savings income is 7,000. First step, he will get starting nil rate band of 3,000. Total is 5,000. Non-savings income is 2,000. So we'll get starting nil rate band of 3,000. Remaining savings income is 4,000. Please see the category of taxpayer. His total income is 9,000, which is within 37,700. So he's a basic rate category taxpayer. He will get additional 1,000 as a savings nil rate band. So he will get additional 1,000 as the nil rate band. Clear? Now, how much of income would be put to tax? Only 3,000. Why? 3,000 from starting nil rate band, 1,000 from savings nil rate band. Total 4,000. Okay. His savings income and So his savings income total is 7,000. Out of 7,000, he got 3,000 starting nil rate band and 1,000 savings nil rate band. So now he's only left with 3,000 of his savings income to be taxed. He is a basic rate taxpayer that we established. So his income tax on savings income would be 3,000 multiplied by 20%. In the second example, he has no non-savings income. He'll get full 5,000 as the starting nil rate band. Since he is a basic rate taxpayer, he'll get 1,000 additionally as savings nil rate band. Total, how much is getting? 6,000. What is his savings income? 8,000. So the remaining savings income is 2,000. That would be taxed at 20%. Third example, he has got non-savings income beyond 5,000. He will not get any starting nil rate band. But since he is a basic rate category taxpayer, he will get 1,000 savings nil rate band. Savings income is 6,000 less 1,000, 5,000 will be taxed at 20%. So his income tax on savings income would be 1,000. Right now, here I just calculated income tax for savings. Am I clear till this point? Only for savings income. I'll give you 3 examples again to solve. So savings income, I will just re-explain the bands. So there are two nil rate bands available for the savings income only. One is starting nil rate band that is only available if your non-savings income is less than 5,000. Second, savings nil rate band. If the taxpayer is a basic rate category taxpayer, he'll get 1,000 as the savings income nil rate band to be taxed at 0%. If he is a higher rate taxpayer, 500 would be taxed at 0%. If he is a additional rate taxpayer, nothing would be taxed at 0%. He will not get any nil rate band. Let's have two examples or three examples and you give me answer, all of you. First example I'm giving you. Just a moment. Just a moment. You have to give me total tax. Tax on non-savings as well as savings. Okay. This is the total taxable income. In my example, I'm not taken dividend income. In the first example, non-savings income is 10,000. Savings income is 8,000. Total is 18,000. Second example, non-savings income is 2,000. Savings income is 25,000. Total is 27,000. Third example, non-savings income is 40,000. Okay. Savings income is 10,000 and the total is 50,000. Calculate the tax liability. Give the savings income starting nil rate band or savings income nil rate band accordingly and give me the tax amount for the first portion, for the first example. Don't worry, even if you're going wrong, I will correct you. I'm just giving you 1 minute to do it. Please do it. I'll be there in the meantime. Just first portion answer, type it in the chat box, everybody. No. Just first portion answer. You can be wrong, you can be right, that's okay. Don't be troubled by it. And write your answer directly to me. I'm just giving you a minute to solve. Quickly. Received answers from Karthik, Aman and Smita. Everybody else revert quickly. Received from Plaksha, Fani, as well as Prabjot, Jatarth. Halima received your answer. Who's pending to give me answer? Halima, Jatat, Prabjot, Vani, Plaksha, Smita, Aman, Karthik. Riddhi, your answer please. And Swayam, your answer. Vardhan, answer. That's okay, Riddhi, that's okay. Okay, even if it is wrong or right, I'm not checked it. I will calculate and we'll discuss. Okay, so Swayam, Riddhi received answers. Vardhan, quickly. For the first part only. Nobody will do the second part. First, see whether you're wrong or right. Only then you attempt the second part. Vardhan, not able to do? That's okay. Okay, look at my screen. So let's see what is the correct answer. I will do the tax calculation. First, I'm doing NSI. 10,000. Now, what is the category of the taxpayer? Here, I will write category. The total taxable income is 18,000. That means he is a basic rate taxpayer. The total income is 27,000. Again, he is a basic rate taxpayer because the maximum tax rate applicable is 20%. Here, it is going beyond 37,700. So the maximum tax rate that is applicable is higher rate taxpayer 40%. Right? Because it is within 125, 140, not going beyond that. Now I established the category. Now I'll do the NSI calculation. So the first one I'm doing. I will take NSI 10,000. That would be taxed at 20%. So the tax amount would be 2,000. Now I will take SI. Okay. Now SI is 8,000 here. Now I will not get any starting nil rate band because NSI is already beyond 5,000. So I will not get any starting nil rate. However, since the category of the taxpayer is basic rate category, we will get savings nil rate band. Savings nil rate band is 1,000 for basic rate category. It will be taxed at 0%. So the tax would be 0. What is the remaining savings income? Remaining savings income is 8,000 less 1,000. 7,000. Now, since the tax rate is 20% applicable, I'll take 20% here. Okay. And I will multiply it. I get this much. My answer is 3,400 is the total tax. Some of you gave me 1,400 because you calculate tax on savings income. That's okay. But Riddhi, Swayam, are you clear? That's okay. That's okay. Riddhi, Swayam, are you clear? Halima, it was correct. Jitat, Prabjot, you did the same thing. Vani, you also. Smita, correct. Plaksha, are you clear for where you went wrong? Aman, you also did the same thing. Karthik, correct. Okay. Okay, then it's okay, Swayam. You are exempted for today. Okay, that's okay. Okay, any questions, queries with anyone? Type it. Otherwise, do question number 2. Solve the B part and type the total tax liability in your answer. Okay, let's discuss. So, Smita, Karthik, Plaksha, Vardhan, Vani, Riddhi, Prabjot, Jatarth. Everybody's answer. Who is not answered? Halima, your answer? It's good that you guys are trying. Very good. Do errors. You will learn from your errors. Halima, Aman. Okay, let's look at the answer. Halima, it cannot be 10,500. How can it be so high? Okay, let's discuss the answer. So now your non-savings income is 2000. Everybody look at my screen. Just see how the steps should be. 2000. It will be taxed at 20%. He is a basic rate taxpayer. It is not going for non-savings income beyond 37,700. Okay. Now let's look for savings nil rate band or other nil rate bands. So I will just roll it down. Halima, please look here. Now, is your non-savings income up to 5,000 or less than 5,000? Yes. So we still have 3,000 remaining because 2,000 is non-savings income. Starting nil rate band is 5,000. You reduce it, you get 3,000. Okay, so the starting nil rate band, we will get here 3,000. I'll give you a break after this question, okay? So 3,000 is starting nil rate band, will be taxed at 0%. Okay, so I will just copy paste the formula. Now, since he is a basic rate taxpayer, he will get one more 1,000. Yes, Halima, correct. Okay, so now he will get one more 1,000 that would be taxed at 0. Now, how much is the total savings income? 25,000. Out of 25, we have adjusted 4. So how much we are left with? 21. Do it like this, 25 less 1 less 3. 21,000, that will be taxed at 20%. Why? It is not going beyond 37,700. So what is the total tax liability? 4,600. Are you now clear with this, Halima, Riddhi, Vani? Are you guys clear? Swayam, Vardhan? Very nice, very nice. Now I'm giving you 10 minutes break, and after that, 9, 10, we will resume. Okay? Okay, people. So I hope everybody is very clear now. Now let's look at the third question. Can we begin quickly? Okay, let's look at the third question. Okay, third question, I'm doing it. Third question, I'm doing it. Okay, Plaksha has done it. Aman has done it. Very good. Yeah, there is a rate band change. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, Jitarth has done it. Let's see what is the correct answer. So keep your answers with you. Let's see it. Okay, now the third example I'm taking. NSI is 40,000. Okay, so we have varied answers. Like NSI is 40,000. Now, is this crossing the basic rate band? Yes, it is. So, how to account for that? Let's write it. Till 37,700, I'll take 20%. Beyond 37,700, for NSI, it is 40 minus 37,700, 2,300. That will be taxed at 40%. Now, just understand that the moment we have 40% applicable, now savings income will also be at 40% only till overall income does not cross 125, 140. Okay. So very good that all of you have attempted this question. Fantastic. Right now, it is not important that you have to get every question correct. You should know the way. So now when you're doing errors, I do the corrections here. You would be able to understand what are the mistakes that you are doing. Okay. Now let's go to savings income. First, see, is the starting nil rate band applicable? No, it is not. Okay, it is not applicable. Why? Because it is already beyond 5,000. So I will cancel this from here. Now let's look at the next one. Is the savings nil rate band applicable? Now let's check that. He is what category taxpayer? Higher rate. So yes, savings nil rate band will be available, but not 1,000. He will get 500. Now what is the remaining savings income? 10,000 less 9,500. 500, sorry. So we get 9,500. That will not be taxed at 20%. That will be taxed at 40%. Okay, why? Because he is already 40% has become applicable. So what is the correct answer? None of you got it correct. The correct answer is 11350. 11340. No, wait. Oh, sorry. The correct answer is 12260. So very good. Riddhi, Aman got it correct. Smita got it correct. Fantastic. And all of you others, those who did not get it correct, I hope now you understand where you went wrong. Because I think some of you took it as 20%. It's okay. Now, when the rate changes, till it is not 125, 140, it will be at 40% only. Quickly tell me, is this absolutely clear with everyone now? So, Aman, Halima, Jatat, Kartik, Plaksha, Prabjot, Riddhi, Vardhan, Smita, Vani, Swayam, everybody, are you clear? Any questions, any queries till this point? It has to be absolutely crystal clear. With more practice, you're going to do more, better answers, of course. But then concept is clear. Okay, great. Very good. Okay, now I'll just take up one last portion before I summarize everything and take some questions in the class and then give you some questions in homework. Okay, so we have done for dividend savings income. Now let's go to dividend income. Dividend income is pretty comfortable. There is only one nil rate band that is applicable to all taxpayers, whether you are a basic rate, additional rate, higher rate. Only one nil rate band is there, that up to 1,000 it is 0%. So that is a nil rate band of 1,000. So for 1,000 tax rate is 0%. Okay. So if your dividend income is 25,000, 1,000 will be at 0%, balance 24,000 you will tax. Now there is a big twist in dividend income taxing. What was the normal rates that we followed? 20, 40, 45. For a dividend income, the normal rates are not 20, 40, 45. The tax rates would be 8.75, 33.75, 39.35. Now you will say, ma'am, what complication? How do we remember it? You don't need to remember it. It is going to be given to you in the exam. Just that you should apply it. How do I apply? If I know that there is income which is involving dividend income, then I will not apply these tax rates 20, 40, 45 on dividend income. For dividend income, depending upon whether we are in the basic rate band or a higher rate band or additional rate band, we will apply these tax rates. 8.75, 33.75, 39.35. And when you do more and more questions, ultimately you remember it. Like now I remember because I've been doing it for a while. Okay. Now let's look at this example of Richard, compile everything together, and then let's do some questions. So please have concentration on my screen. His non-savings income is 39,430. So we took 37,700 and we taxed it at 20%. Okay. The remaining, we tax it at 40%. Now we move on to savings income. Starting nil rate band is not applicable because NSI is beyond 5,000. Now he's a higher rate taxpayer, so 1,000 is 0%. Sorry, he's a higher rate taxpayer, so 500 is nil rate band. Balance income is 900, that would be taxed at 40% because 40% is applicable. And he's a higher rate taxpayer, he's not additional rate, so it will be 40% only. Now, dividend income, starting nil rate band of 1,000, compulsory. So his dividend income is 6,000. Out of that, 1,000 is at 0%. What is the remaining income? 5,000. Basic rate band is already over. We are in the higher rate band category. So just see the tax rate for higher rate band. For higher rate band, the dividend tax is 33.75. So what I will do, I will multiply remaining 5,000 with 33.75. That's all. And you get the tax here. Add everything and you get total tax liability. Now, as we study further, you will understand that, just like we have TDS in India, we have pay as you earn. In your syllabus, pay is only for employment income. So if a question gives you that there is a pay means TDS, it is already deducted. For example, here it is saying that there is a pay on your salary for 7,600. That means this tax has already been deducted. So why would you pay extra? Now you will just pay excess. This will be final tax payable. And the due date for final tax payable is 31st January. So that leave this for the time being. I explain this in detail later on. Okay. So now let's summarize it. Number one, you categorize your income in these categories. Then you take total income. You reduce qualifying interest relief and gross relief. You get net income. When we reduce PA to get taxable income. In order to know what is the level of PA available, if your ANI goes beyond 1 lakh, then we do tapering of PA. Okay, ANI is net income less gross gifted donation less gross personal pension contributions. And if ANI is going beyond 1 lakh, then step 1, we calculate ANI. Step 2, we do excess of ANI over 1 lakh. Step 3, take 50% of excess. And step 4, calculate tapered PA. That tapered PA would be reflected here. And it can go up to 0. Then once we know the taxable income, we'll take total and we'll establish the category of the taxpayer. This is only needed just for savings nil rate band. Now you'll start taxing your income based on category wise. So non-savings income, you will take non-savings income and up to 37,700, it will be taxed at 20%. Then beyond 37,700, it will be taxed at 40% till 125, 140. Beyond 125, 140, it will be taxed at 45%. Savings income, there is a starting nil rate band of 5,000 if your non-savings income is up to 5,000 or less than 5,000. Okay, and then there's additional, there is one more savings nil rate band available, that is for the category of the taxpayer. If the taxpayer is a basic rate category, the savings income nil rate band is 1,000. That means that will be taxed at 0%. If he's a higher rate category, 500 will be taxed at 0%. For additional rate category, nothing, no nil rate band is available. Then we go to dividend income. For all the categories of taxpayer, it is 1,000, which is going to be taxed at 0%. That is dividend nil rate band is 1,000. Beyond 1,000, you will see what is the tax rate applicable. Accordingly, you will apply the dividend tax rate. Then finally, you will get total tax liability. If there is any payee, then you will reduce it and you will get the total tax payable to HMRC. It is 37,700. Okay, the rate bands are fixed, Swayam. That is from 0 to 37,700 of the taxable income, tax rate is 20%. Okay, so these slab rates are fixed. You cannot move it. And in all the tax systems and anywhere in the world, slab rates are fixed. These slab rates will not change. Okay, but As we study further, you will understand that we can extend these rate bands. So extend these rate bands, how do we do? I'll take it in the next class, not today. It will be too much of the concepts today then. Okay? Yeah. Okay, people, are you ready to do questions? Come on. Give me that reward. And today you'll have a lot of homework for questions. Okay, let's do some questions. Okay, just for your understanding, I have not done chapter 2 from the book completely. Okay, I will cover it in the next class. So if you're reading through the book, don't be petrified that, ma'am, you've not covered this topic, not this topic, not this topic. Be rest assured, I'll cover everything, but step by step. Okay. Okay, so let's do this question. So let's do some question solving. There's some theory portion that I've not covered. Okay, let's do this simple question. All of you, I'm doing this question in the class, one question, and then once I guide you for this, you will do rest of the questions. Okay, so let's do this illustration one. Illustration one. Now, here we have employment income of 95,000, bank interest of 8,000, and there is a dividend income of 7,500. The question says calculate taxable income. I will calculate tax liability also. Okay, so that for you, it's a full-fledged question. Okay, so I will establish the category non-savings income, savings income, dividend income, and total. First is employment income. It's a non-savings income. Okay, then it is bank interest and dividends. Non-savings income will have employment income 95,000. Savings income is bank interest 8,000. Dividend income will come here 7,500. Nobody will do any questions right now. Please look at my screen and nobody will look at the answers also. Trust me, I'll give you correct answers. Okay, but please have a look at my screen so that you know how to proceed. Okay, now here I get total income. I can write total income or net income both. The reason being there is no qualifying interest relief and all given, so I can directly write net income also. Okay, now I will reduce PA, personal allowance. When you reduce it, you get taxable income. Okay, please look here. Now, I'm preparing a working note. This is for calculation of tapering of the. Okay, now is there any ANI or NI difference? Because there is no gross gifted donation, gross personal pension contribution. So ANI is equal to NI here, which is given to you 1,10,500. So first step, we know ANI is 1,10,500. Then step 2, excess over 1 lakh, which is showing the calculation 1,10,500 less 10,500. Step 3. If you want, you can skip writing these steps. I am writing it so that you are clear with it. Okay, in exam, you don't need to write like this: step 1, step 2, step 3. You can directly do the calculations in a phased manner. Okay, then I'll take 50% of the excess. 5250. Now, step 4, tapered PA. Tapered PA will be 12,570 less 5250. Yeah. Okay, I really request nobody to write anything right now in the chat box. Let's just do one question by looking at my screen. Okay. So tapered pH 7320. I will link it by showing a negative sign, and I will link this figure in exam also. So now I got the reduced pH 103180. Higher taxpayer, the category. Are you clear? Because it is not going beyond 125,140. We are clear till here. Now let's do the tax calculation. You can match the taxable income 103180. Okay. Now let's do calculation of tax liability. Okay. Please focus. First, I'm establishing NSI. NSI, I will take till 37,700, which is the basic rate band. It will be taxed at 20%. And I'm giving this heading here, tax. Okay. Then more than 37,700, it is 49980. That is going in higher rate band. It will be taxed at 40%. Okay. On a safer side, I generally say get the totals at least initially, so that you know you have taken the full income. Okay, now I go to savings income. Savings income is 8,000 here. Now, will the taxpayer get the starting nil rate band? Definitely no, because NSI is beyond 5,000. Very good, Samaya. Okay. Now, will he get the savings nil rate band? Yes, he will get. Because he's a higher rate taxpayer, so he'll get 500 as the savings nil rate band. So I will write here 500. I will write here savings nil rate band, and that will be taxed at 0%. Okay. Now the next one, the remaining savings income. This is higher rate band because basic rate band is already over. It will be taxed at 40%. Okay. Dividend income. Dividend income is 7,500. 1,000 is taxed at 0%, right? So 1,000 is the dividend nil rate band, right? It is for all the taxpayers. So that will be taxed at 0%. Now, what is the remaining dividend income? 7,500 less 1,000. 6,500, get the totals here also. So that you know that you have taken the full income. Now, which category? Higher rate band only, because the same rate band is being continued, and additional rate band you have not reached. Now, don't put 40%, put the dividend rate band. What is the dividend rate band? I'll show you here, 33.75%. So now here I will write 33.75%. Okay, always round off your taxes. Don't keep it round. Don't keep it in decimals. Always round off your taxes. Now just get the totals. You have taken everything, get the totals. So the total tax liability is 32,726. Am I clear with this? Everyone, are you clear how we calculated this? Any questions, any doubts, please ask me. Okay, then let's do some questions and I'll give you some in homework also. Okay, Karthik has asked me a question. Uh, Karthik has asked me a question. Starting nil rate band, can it be utilized against a dividend income also? No. Starting nil rate band is only for savings income. So if suppose he has given me an example that ma'am, if NSI is 2000, NSSI is 1000, we still have a starting nil rate band of 2000 remaining that cannot be adjusted for DI. That is only for SI. So if your savings income is insufficient, it will lapse. Okay. For dividend income, you just have 1000 nil rate band. Okay. Swayam has asked, ma'am, if the savings income is 3000, then we will take 500 only because NSI is more than BRTP. In this example, yes. Overall, you have to see. If your overall taxable income is up to 37,700, then only you will take 1000, otherwise you will take 500. And if it is going beyond 125,140, then zero only. Okay? It is not priority. First, you will tax NSI, then SI, then DI. So it is not priority. Starting nil rate band, you have to check with the level of NSI. Okay? Yeah. Clear? Okay, I'm giving you first question for homework. Activity 4 is homework. Homework means I'll discuss it in the next class. That needs to be done. Let me tell you, if you miss out on your homework, you are only reducing your practice. So it's better if you do homework. I generally don't give homework which is going to take more than 1 to 2 hours for the week, for this period. Okay. So I think that much time you can always take out. So activity 1 is homework. I'll put it in the group also. Okay, please do illustration 2. Give me the answer. Don't look at the solution. Give me the tax liability quickly. No issues. I'll send the pics in the group then. Only for today. Try to get the books quickly. In the meantime, you do one thing, Aman, get the ebook access. You don't need prints, photos. Get the ebook access. Okay, get the ebook access from Sandeep sir. Everyone quickly, I'm just giving you 2 minutes to solve it. Everybody type it in your chat box quickly. A minute more. You need to speed up. 40% then. 40. Okay, received answers from Karthik, Smita, Riddhi. Riddhi, it seems correct. Very good. Jitarth. Aman, just recheck your answer. Because looking at others' answers, I think there is a difference. Just check. Plaksha. Swayam, do it. Don't type thank you. Type your answer. Halima, why such silence? Answer. Vardhan, answer. Vani, answer. Swayam, answer. Come on, guys, speed up. Okay, no issues. But that's great, Riddhi. Very good. No issues. Don't put question marks. I am not judging you at all, even if you're wrong. You give me all answers wrong, I'm completely okay. But this is a learning phase. Only when you do wrong, you're going to learn your mistakes from your mistakes and do correct answers. Look at Riddhi. That's how we should be. Okay? So don't be afraid with the wrong answers. That's okay. Okay, Vardhan. Halima, I'm waiting for your answer, dear. Okay, so let's have the answers. So I've got answers where some of you have given me 54, 780, 56, 313. These are the two answers that are there. So let's see which is the correct answer. So the correct answer is 56, 313. Very good. Where you went wrong, I think some of you forgot to give 45%. Is it so? Is it so? Halima, Swayam, and Aman. I think this is the problem. So what happened? Now here, if you see employment income is 1,45,000. But you said it is coming below. Swayam, you reduced PA. Don't you think PA will be tapered? PA will be tapered, right? All of you. So now you got 155,800. When you have 145,000, you have 37,700 at 20%. Till 125, 140, 40%. Beyond 140, 125, 140 till 1,45,000. Oh, it is completely NSI. Sorry, property income and employment income both NSI. So 1,55,800 less 1,25,140, 140, it will be at 45%. You add 3 and you get your tax liability. Yes, yes, yes. It means what, Swayam? Look here. So we say that till 37,700, it will be 20%. Okay. Then I take 1,25,140 140 less 37,700 only on this additional income. Because till 37,700 you already taxed, right? You cannot tax it again. So only on this additional portion, I will have 40%. Now again on the additional portion, 155,800 less 125,140, you will have 45%. Now you multiply it. Add it. Your tax liability is 56,313. Are you clear now, Swayam? Just type that. Aman, are you clear? Please type that. And Halima, are you clear? And kudos, very good, Riddhi, very good efforts. All of you, very good efforts. Okay. Now, just one more question and then we'll be off for the day. I'll give you more homework. Okay. Please do this illustration 3. I'm just giving you 2 minutes. Solve it and type it in the chat box. All of you type it, then we'll discuss the answers. Please, guys, when you're doing the calculations, Aman and Plaksha, both answers are different, but I'm just giving you an understanding. The trading income is NSI, bank interest is SI, check for starting nil rate band, check for savings nil rate band. Okay, looks like he's a basic rate taxpayer, but please ensure that you're reducing PA also. Okay, because since it is not beyond 1 lakh, there is no tapering here. So please see whether you have done the tapering also or not. Aman, just look at just check your answer once. Have you, sorry, no tapering. I mean to say, have you reduced PA or not? Have you given the nil rate band? Just check. Sure, then stick to your answer. Okay, received answers from Aman, Vardhan, Smita and Plaksha. Others, quickly, speed up. Speed up and give me the answer. Halima, Jatarth, answer. Karthik, Riddhi, Swayam, Vani, answer. Vani, Riddhi received answers. And Karthik and Jitarth as well as Swayam. Halima, where is your answer? Come on. Give me your answer quickly. Swayam, what have you done? It cannot be this much. Wrong. You've not reduced PA 12,570. And they all are in the basic rate band only. So you will never have 40% applicable. Okay, let's look at the answer. So the correct answer is So the correct answer is 1440. Let's see why some of you got it wrong. Let's see that. Non-savings income is 15,170. This is 8,000. Get the totals. This is the net income. We'll reduce PA and we get taxable income, which is coming 10,600. 2,600 will be taxed at 20%. We still have 2,400 remaining for savings nil rate band. So 2,400 will be at zero. Since he is a basic rate taxpayer, we will have 1,000 at zero. So from 8,000, you reduce 2,400 and you reduce 1,000. The remaining 4,600 would be taxed at 20%. So this is how we get tax liability of 1440. Are you now clear that where were the mistakes? And are you clear with your mistakes? That's okay. You just need to have a recap, all of you. That's all. Okay. So I hope now, Aman, you are clear. Swayam, you are clear. That's all. And as well as Karthik, you are clear that it is not nil. That's all. Do more practice. So please, everybody just write down your homework. Parallelly, I'll write it in the WhatsApp group also. I'm not taking more concepts. The reason being, okay, there is activity 1. No issues. Okay, illustration 4. Illustration 5. Illustration 6. Activity 5. And we'll discuss all these answers, okay? Activity 6, activity 5, activity 7 I will do. Activity 5 and 6. Okay, more questions. More questions. Question 45. That's all. Okay, so I've sent in the group. Please make sure that all of you are doing that and be ready for with your answers, and please revise the portions. Parallelly do ACCA Study Hub questions as well as a practice question bank questions at the end of your workbook. Complete all this. You have doubts, ask me in the next class on Tuesday. So I do hope that the sessions are being understandable and you're able to understand everything and are crystal clear with your concepts. Anywhere, any doubts, please ask me. So I hope that you're understanding tax sessions and they're not as boring as you may have predicted. Okay, so I hope that everybody is enjoying the sessions. If there is any questions, queries, any concerns, reach out to me. Okay? Okay, then let's call it off a day. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye. Take care. Your lectures and everything will be uploaded on LMS. Bye. Most welcome. Bye-bye.